Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer. In December 2021, alongside ambassadors from the Voices Network, who are in the gallery today, I launched a campaign for free bus travel for people seeking asylum here in Scotland. Since then, the campaign has attracted widespread support from across the asylum sector and from third sector organisations such as Maryhill Integration Network, Min Voices, the Scottish Refugee Council, Just Right Scotland, Grampian Regional Equality Council and Friends of Scottish Settlers, amongst others. On top of that, there is cross-party support in this Parliament. This week, the Equality, Human Rights and Civil Justice Committee backed the extension of the National Concessionary Bus Scheme to asylum seekers on a countrywide provision, calling the policy transformative. I also thank Mr Doris, in particular the member for Glasgow, Maryhill and Springburn, and Mr Ruskell, the Green member for Mid-Scotland and Fife Region, for their continued cross-party efforts in support of this campaign. In my own region of Glasgow, the cost of an all-day bus ticket is £5. People seeking asylum do not have the right to work, and therefore they rely on a financial allowance of just £6 per day to cover the cost of living. And for those living in provided hotel accommodation, an ever-increasing number, the allowance can be as little as £1.36 per day. Having to fork out £5 for bus travel to attend medical, social, legal appointments or even urgent Home Office appointments is simply not an option unless they go without food or other essentials. Asylum accommodation is often situated in isolated areas of cities with the lowest rents and unaffordable public transport systems ultimately compound the isolation for many new Scots. Concessionary bus travel is therefore a key social justice policy that has the ability to positively transform the lives of those stuck in the dreadfully slow and inadequate asylum system presided over by the Conservative-run Home Office. People seeking asylum are amongst the most vulnerable people in our society, forced to live in squalid conditions on next to no money, prevented from getting a job to earn money despite often being highly qualified, and despite being eminently capable people able to contribute so much to our communities. The difficulties faced by people seeking asylum in Scotland lies firmly at the door of the Conservative UK Government. However, the Scottish Government has the ability to improve the lives of asylum seekers in many practical ways. Free bus travel would enable people seeking asylum to explore and integrate in their new home country. It would also vastly improve their quality of life, with the cost of bus travel eating up the already scarce amount provided by the Home Office for essentials. As mentioned in my opening remarks, the third sector and the asylum sector are right behind this campaign, but I think it's important to draw attention to the support from wider civic society too. Indeed, all faith leaders in the Scottish Religious Leaders Forum have signed an open letter in support of the policy, and the Mental Health Foundation and the Poverty Alliance have also recommended the proposal. I've been pleased to work on a cross-party basis with parliamentary colleagues, engaging with the Scottish Government on this ask, liaising directly with successive Transport Ministers and with the Transport Scotland Agency. I also personally met with the Deputy First Minister in her previous role as Cabinet Secretary for Social Justice, Housing and Local Government, and with the Cabinet Secretary for Wellbeing, Economy, Fair Work and Energy in his previous role as Minister for Culture, Europe and International Development, with special responsibility for refugees, both of whom saw merit in the proposals. Following the commitment in the programme for government in 2022-23 to work with the third sector partners and councils to consider how best to provide free bus travel, a 12-week trial took place earlier this year in Glasgow. There was no mention of a national rollout of free bus travel for asylum seekers in the programme for government in 2023-24, which came as a disappointment to those who have worked on this campaign for almost 2 years now. Now is the time to implement this on a full-time basis, Deputy Presiding Officer. The Scottish Government is already providing concessionary travel through the Young Persons Scheme and the Older and Disabled Persons Scheme. The framework is there and can be easily extended. First, happy to give way.
Jackson Carlo.
Mr Sweeney will be aware that this is the subject of an active petition before the Public Petitions Committee. It has drawn cross-party support, and it was an issue that I put directly on behalf of the committee and the petitioner to the First Minister when he appeared before the conveners group just before the October recess. In that, he gave a very strong commitment to look into seeking to deliver the aims of the petition. Is he pleased at least with that progress to date? And is he hopeful, like me, that the Minister might be able to advance the First Minister's commitment beyond that he was able to give in June?
Paul Sweeney.
Well, as an alumnus and evangelist for the work of the Citizens Participation Public Petitions Committee, I commend the member for Eastwood in his capacity as convener of that committee in putting that question to the First Minister at the recent session with him, and I'm pleased that there's encouraging responses from the First Minister, and hopefully the Minister has heard those remarks too and will respond in due course. First Bus, which also serves the Eastwood constituency, is the largest bus operator in Scotland and indeed in Glasgow, which is the highest asylum dispersal area in the United Kingdom. They have confirmed that they would support any mechanism that would offer travel assistance to displaced people, providing that provisions were reviewed and tied to a reimbursement rate similar to the existing concessionary travel schemes. And I've had recent correspondence with the Transport Minister in which she committed to looking further into this, and indeed the First Minister, as mentioned by the member for Eastwood, has said that he's actively considering this matter. I therefore urge the Minister to update Parliament today on whether the Government will make an order in exercise of the powers conferred by the Transport Scotland Act of 2005 to establish a national bus travel concession scheme for those people seeking asylum in Scotland, as defined by Section 94 in the Immigration and Asylum Act of 1999. Extending the free bus travel scheme on that basis is well within the Scottish Government's gift. Supplementing the existing concessionary travel schemes will cost a fraction of the overall Scottish budget, and the change can be brought in at speed and at pace, providing quick relief to those seeking asylum here in Scotland. Frankly, for such small change, it would make a huge difference to thousands of lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you.